Guests are obsessed with bringing positive change, solving problems, and automating processes with Microsoft Power Platform. Please welcome PowerAddicts Samit, Allison, and Keith. How are you, my friends?
We're all good, Seth.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So I thought we'd start, if you don't mind, because they gave me tons of time and I'm super excited. Let's start with each one of you introducing yourselves. Tell us who you are and what you do. We'll start with you, Samit.
Hello, everyone. My name is Samit and I work for London Heathrow Airport. And I've been working there for 15 years now. And I'm a power addict, and I'm grateful to be here.
All right, you're next, Allison.
Hi, my name's Alison Mulligan. I am a Power Addict, Microsoft BizApps MVP, and also a specialist recruiter for the Power Platform, and also super excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Keith, you're up, buddy.
Hey there, I'm Keith Watling. I'm a principal technologist at a partner called Quantic in the UK. And I'm a massive power addict and a giant, great big geek. And I came to this position from public transport, driving buses and building apps.
All right, so let's start with the first question, because everyone said like super excitedly, I'm a power addict, and I'm not sure exactly what that means. So I want every one of you to tell you, and maybe you didn't compare notes, but I want to hear from every one of you, Samit, Allison, and Keith. What is a power addict to you, Samit?
Someone who embraces everyone. Doesn't matter if you're an expert or a beginner, who's willing to share knowledge and help others.
Fantastic. Allison?
Yeah, like pretty much Samit nailed it. Like it's, we're addicted to finding great solutions with the Power Platform, and we do everything we can to help others to do the same, really.
And Keith, what about you, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, like for me, it's a little bit like it's an internal community that's externally visible to everyone. And it's a group of people who like to give you the full answer. Now, like if you go on Stack Overflow and stuff, people give you a bit of the answer. But in this community, the amount of times you end up on a call with someone who's unblocking you fully and getting you over the line, it's just absolutely unbelievable. And it takes away the pain that we suffer as humans in this, IT world. It's pretty incredible, really.
So I want to get to that you actually get on a call with somebody thing, because that's amazing. But let's start with this question. How did this community come about? I mean, because I went to your website and it's actually really, like, I love how principled, like you literally wrote, this is what could be roughly defined, because I wrote it down. A power addict is an individual with an almost obsessive need and desire to bring positive change. And I love that. How did this community come about? What's the inception story here? And anyone can take this.
Well, I think like the crazy thing with the Power Addicts was that like it started off at one of these events. So it started off at MBAS, and there was we were all thrown together. None of us knew one another, and a couple of guys at Microsoft had brought a bunch of people together who had great business stories to tell. And I was going to come and meet Samit. I was terrified of Samit. It turned out Samit was terrified of me. We both heard all these incredible things that like
I'm terrified of all of you right now. It's awesome.
Yeah, like totally, and we came at it, and it was like we started hanging out, and then we all found Twitter. Like I'd never heard of Twitter. I didn't really ever tweet or anything like that. And we started hanging out with other people. And then one night, it was sort of, I think it was like October, November time. And we just started chatting, and we were like, do you know what? We're addicted to this thing. It's like Alcoholics Anonymous. It's like, hey, my name's Keith. I'm a power addict and I've got a problem, and we just all started hanging out with one another, and we wanted to do more and more of it. So we decided to brand ourselves as a place that you could come and find someone who was excited about the things that you tell your family that they don't get excited about. Like, so if you go home and you've made a great spreadsheet with loads of macros, like no one's particularly excited about that. Like you can tell your mum and she might be, oh, bless, wonderful.
Yeah, nice.
But, oh, made an app, but no one's really excited by that. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty, it's great just being surrounded by such awesome friends and people now who like want to help one another. And you get smothered with love when you come into this community, especially if you've got a really like, well, not worthy problem, but like you've got a problem that's like for your business or for your charity, and you just wouldn't believe you just become inundated with offers of help. It's almost more of a problem, the amount of help you're being given, than like not knowing what to do next.
I love what you're saying, Keith. Allison, are there any specific stories that bring this out where members of the community were welcomed in or a problem was solved? I'd love to hear like a personal story of someone that joined the Power Addict community and amazing things happened. Do you have something like that, Allison?
Yeah, totally. I've got a million of them, but for me personally, when I found the community, like I didn't know anything about Power Platform. I was sat working away on my D365 system, and I kind of stumbled into Power BI from there, and then I started seeing PowerApps and Power Automate, or Flow as it was then, and I didn't have anybody to bounce ideas off, and then I found the Power Addicts. And I was really nervous because I felt like they were all professional developers, and I'm not a techie. And I thought they're going to find out really quickly that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to get pushed out the other side. But I started making friends with people like Keith and Samit and various other members of the community, and they just welcomed me in with open arms, to the point that when I've had a problem with something, like Azure is not my strong suit in any way, shape, or form. But I had a problem with my Azure server, and I was talking about it to a couple of guys at a Power Platform user group, they were Carl Cookson and EY Kalman, and they both offered to help. And they said, "Oh yeah, show us. Let's log in now. Let's have a look at it." And they fixed the problem for me. And then you've got examples where EY had recommended that we have Clarissa Gillingham on our Power Platform virtual happy hour, which is a monthly event we do, because she'd done an amazing thing with Infinity Forms, which is the thing she kind of created. And the community really got behind her. And I know that she got some support from Sancho Harker, who's another member of the Power Addicts community. There's no barrier to entry. You don't have to be a techie. You don't have to be a developer. All you have to do is be interested and passionate about it. And it's like a mass moving thing, like The Thing, and it will just suck you all in, and everybody is part of the community. I hope that answers the question.
That's really cool. But here's a secret we all know this. I'm kind of a techie guy, but I don't know anything either. So it actually works out to have a really good community. Samit, how many members are part of this community? Do you meet regularly and say, hey, my name is Samit and I am a Power Addict? Do you have meetings like that? Or tell me about the community.
Oh, always. I mean, I have 1 or 2 calls a week with someone who contacts me on Twitter. How I started off with is, or someone on WhatsApp or LinkedIn. They'll say, "Hi, Samit, I see, you're part of Power Addicts. Could you help me in this? How do you start it off?" Or I'm the only one in my organization who's starting off using the Power Platform. How can I show my colleagues, show my manager how powerful the Power Addicts can be, how powerful the Power Apps and the Power Platform can be? And I love having those talks because when they have their light bulb moment to say, "Oh my God, is that all it takes?" It's like, wow, okay, great. What's next? Who else can I meet? And I'll say, oh, there's Keith, there's Vivek, there's Alan, there's so many people. It's like there's no shortage of learning. There's no shortage of meeting people and making friendship just because you have a common interest. And that's what's been so powerful, is that every day it's growing. Every day someone opens up that app and says, wow, okay, this is amazing. Who can I communicate to? And when you got the hashtag Power Addicts and you just click on it, it gives you tons of information, tons of people who are willing to share that knowledge because they come through the same journey that me, Keith, Allison have come through, and then they can spread that journey about how they started off with. So it's continuously growing. It's been amazing.
So I was talking to Donna before she left because I had that overnight shift, which is the best shift, by the way, because I get to talk to these fine folks. For those that do not, I was going to finish that thought. She was super jealous that I got to talk to you, by the way. And so I'm really excited. For those that don't know what Power Apps are, the Power Platform is, Keith, how would you describe that to them?
So, I mean, Power Platform is, Power BI for making graphs and charts, right? Like interactive ones, the stuff your manager's always wanted. Power Automate's what happens when your laptop's closed or you're not there. It kind of moves all the data around and sends emails and does all this incredible stuff in the background. And Power Apps is what you hold in your hand. And they're all low code, no code. A lot of it's drag and drop. It's It's an Excel language. There's no like macro stuff in there or anything like that. And what's beautiful is you'll build this stuff with people, and they'll come and tell you what they want, and you can build it with them right there and then. It's completely the most liberating thing I've ever experienced. Like it's truly business transformation, and it happens in days, not weeks and months.
So what are some cool things that members of your community have built? Like I'm trying to get a sense for, because I want Allison to get on this one, right? Because what are some cool things that you've seen built? And obviously everyone else can chime in, but give me a sense for the kinds of things that people have built. Allison.
Sure. So, I think the two of the most notable examples of things that I think I already alluded to earlier, Sancho Harker built a framework for changing the look of your pages and forms for the pages of your app, which is something you used to have to go in and do each one individually. And if you change a button, then you have to go into all the other pages that it features on and change it. And he worked out something like developers are spending like 1 million hours a year just changing the colors of buttons and changing the look of things. And he built a whole framework and shared it with the entire community. It's available for anybody to use for nothing. And it's an amazing tool. And then you have Clarissa Gillingham, who built this Infinity Forms setup, which it kind of removes a lot of the limitations of some of the things that you would find within PowerApps of pulling data through. Those are just a couple of examples. You can find both of those on Twitter. There are other examples where people have made apps for COVID. One of the teams that took part in a global hack created an app that allowed people with something to provide and people that required something to be able to connect with each other and be able to pick up things from each other without actually touching or meeting each other, just using geolocation in the app and being able to post stuff up. And I think stuff like that is amazing. And they built that in less than a day, and it was available to anybody that wanted it. I'm sure Samit and Keith have got some other great examples.
Yeah, I want to hear them. Samit, what do you got?
I mean, ones I like the most is how Alan Chow has taken PowerApps to another level when it comes to branding and theming. He's been amazing when you look at his apps. They don't look like PowerApps. They look like something that we would pay £60,000 to build, where he made it look so nice and elegant. We've got people building apps for testing COVID testing. Heathrow has been amazing. We've got so many ideas, which I don't know if I can share or not, but there's been. What's the other example? I think Keith will have many more to share.
Keith, what do you got, my friend?
Well, I think so in Satya's keynote there was Lauren Taylor from Tacoma Elementary School, and she's a power addict. She's got the T-shirt. She's full on, and she reached out to the community and said, "Hey, look, I really want to build this app for checking kids on and off the bus." And a bunch of people who had some spare time, I remember Geetha and a few others, jumped on and just helped her build the app that she didn't have time to build, right? And that's it. So that's what I mean. If you've got something you really want that's interesting and could be used again, come to the community and see if some people want to build stuff for you, because a lot of us need a project to work on. It's okay just experimenting with all this stuff, but an end-to-end project is really transformative when it comes to trying to learn a technology. We do a lot as well with other communities. So the PowerAddicts have never been just one community. We're born and made up of many, like the Power Platform community, the D365 Society, the Power Platform Happy Hour, and all the user groups. It's we're trying to be the conduit between all of them and make sure that everyone can talk. So when we come and do a hackathon, we'll do a big hack, global hackathons all around the world. A guy called Chris Huntingford, Will Dorrington, Carl Hill, and a few others arrange those. And the Power Addicts always play a part in that and spread the word and just build stuff for charities and for meaningful NGOs to give them a start. Because a lot of them are sitting there on Excel and PowerPoint as their main source of data. And we can change that.
Now,
slowly but surely.
The thing about the school one is that hit me in the feels, right? Because my kids go to school around here. And the fact that you literally can do complicated, amazing computer things without a lot of overhead is just fascinating to me. Now, we've got about 2 minutes left, because one of the things that you said that was interesting at the beginning, but I wanted to get to here at the end, is you said someone will jump on a video and help you. Is that the case? Allison, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, like, if you're stuck with something, if you've got a problem, or if you've got something that you want to automate and you're not quite sure how to go about it, if you literally search on the hashtag PowerAddicts on either LinkedIn or Twitter, you can post up a question to PowerAddicts. Somebody will come back to you, and if it was me or Keith or Samit or anybody else in the community, like if you needed it, we'd hop on a call and talk you through it, or we'll hop on a video call and do a screen share and help you out. Plenty of people have done that for me. I was trying to build a sales report, and I got stuck with dirty data in my Dynamics 365. And Mark Christie just jumped on a call with me and helped me sort it out. It's no problem for anybody to help anyone in this community.
So I heard there was something also called Hangouts, or did I misread that somewhere? Do you have like a meeting? Do you meet every so often, or how does that work? Samit, do you have anything with that?
Yeah, we have a monthly call with the Power Addicts. Keith organizes it with everyone else. And then we have a hangout before COVID, we used to hang out monthly, where people bring up their ideas or what they've been building with the Power Platform.
Well, this is really cool. I think maybe I am becoming a Power Addict as well. I will tell you that sometimes us technical people make it way too complicated. And as I've been working with the Power Apps, and I'm an AI person, and so Power AI Builder and all those and Power BI, there's a lot of goodness. And again, it's been really awesome hanging out with you. Hopefully, if I have a problem, I can go to the hashtag PowerAddicts, and hopefully some of you folks will be able to help me out. What do you think?
100%.
100%.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, my friends. If you want to learn more about becoming a Power Addict, head over to wearePowerAddicts.com. Coming up,